How did you use media technologies in the construction, research, planning and evaluation stages?
Research. Firstly, in order to gain a better perspective of what our magazine cover, poster and trailer should look like, we used applications like the internet and sites like YouTube. From these tools, we were then able to gain examples that would both help and inspire us when creating our own products. We then used a site called SurveyMonkey, in which we created an online survey and sent the link to 40 people from our school. We asked them on their opinions on certain conventions that they may see in our trailer. From this, we were able to gain feedback on what we should and shouldn't do. Planning. When we began planning, the first thing we did was scout for locations we could use when filming. When we found our preferred locations, we took pictures of them using a Nikon D5000 camera. We would then refer back to this when we began filming. We used sites like Google Maps to help us identify the quickest routes we could take to get to our desired locations, as well as other news websites, so we knew the weather forecast and therefore could identify what days were best to film. By using our mobile phones, we were able to communicate and therefore arrange times in which were most suitable for all of us to film. Before we began filming, we used our Sony HD 8.9 megapixel Handycam to take a few test shots at each location. This gave us a better idea of what each shot would look like, and therefore we knew exactly what we were looking for before we began shooting for real. Construction.
As the construction stage is quite extensive, I've decided to break it down into 4 chapters: filming, editing sound and visual effects, making of the magazine cover and making of the poster.
We used the standard Sony HD 8.9 megapixel Handycam when filming. As it is only a small camera, not a lot was required in order for us to take it out and start filming. We also had a tripod and microphone that we would attach to the camera. This would allow for a better range of shots and also a better quality of sound.
To edit our trailer, we used iMovie software. This presented a range of possibilities in order for us to make our trailer look as professional and well put together as possible. In our trailer, there is quite a lot of examples of music and sound effects. Although they all vary quite drastically, they're all taken from the same place. The process that is required in order to get each individual sound effect is simply to go on YouTube. All you have to do is type in the name of the song or the artist or try and identify what kind of sound effect you're looking for in the search bar. Once you search for it, you click on the video that you want and you simply copy the link on the top of the screen. Once you have done that, you then go onto another site called YouTube Converter. You then paste the link into the little search tab that it has and you click Convert Video. You're then given the option to download the video. When you do that, all sounds that are present within the video will be downloaded onto your computer. You then have to open your downloads folder and you'll see them all there. You'll also be able to access them on your iTunes account. All you have to do is then simply drag them from your downloads folder into your iMovie project or your event folders.
The first effect that you are likely to notice in our trailer is the flash at the beginning, which highlights the scene of London. We did this by clicking clip adjustments and then video effects and choosing the effect that we wanted. As we only wanted it to last for a split second, we had to shorten the duration drastically. This technique also applies to the scene where the car is driving through the high street. One of the more impressive and common effects in our trailer are the use of muzzle flashes at the end of guns when shots are fired. We used this effect 3 times in our trailer, however each time we took it from the same source. We used a website called Footage Crate, which has a range of different effects, including muzzle flashes. All you have to do is download the particular effect that you want and then drag it into your product. You then have to align it with the rest of the scene to make sure it looks legit. We also used this website for other effects in our trailer, like the flash of sparks at the end when that neon writing comes up and says coming soon. For other effects, such as that used in the news broadcasting sequence, we had to use other websites to assist with this. The website is called Movie Tools, and it's a similar process as that of Footage Crate, in the sense that you just have to go on it, choose the effect that best suits your scene, download it, and then drag it in. You are also presented with a range of different effects, therefore you have an option, and then you can choose which best suits your scene, which best suits the vibe of your trailer. Other effects, such as the title sequence, the freeze frames, and all the text that appears on screen, are all actually done on Photoshop. It's simply a matter of opening Photoshop, designing them how you want them, saving them, changing them from PSD to PNG, and then dragging them into your iMovie project. You also have to find the right timing and spacing for them. Finally, in order to get the correct transitions between your scenes, you have to go on Windows, Transitions, choose which one best suits that particular moment in your trailer out of the selection, and then just drag it in between the scenes. Adjust the timing and pacing of it so that it looks correct, looks professional. You do this by then clicking on the transition and selecting Precision Editor. For our magazine cover, we shot the photos in a photography studio in our school. We did it against a plain backdrop so then we could edit the background to make it look how we wanted. Again, we used the Nikon D5000 camera to take pictures during this process. All the text that we used on the page were downloaded from a website called The Font. This is because they were far more authentic looking than any of the text already saved onto the computer. We then clicked on the quick selection tool and highlighted the background. We then clicked Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur and blurred it out. This was so it didn't look too opposing and contrasting with the three main characters and managed to fit in nicely with one another. We used the same camera and the same studio when taking pictures for our poster. However, this time we did close-ups as we had a different idea on how to approach it. As a common colour on our poster was gold, we wanted this to reflect on the characters' faces. Therefore, when you click on a character, we click Adjustments, Colour Balance, and add a golden tint to each of them. Evaluation. And the first things we did in the evaluation process was create a Facebook account focusing on our movie. This caused intrigue amongst potential viewers and we encouraged them to give feedback. We also uploaded the trailer to YouTube and we got a lot of responses via the comment section, both good and some constructive. We then conducted a focus group using our Sony HD 8.9 megapixel Handycam. We filmed viewers watching the trailer and therefore got their natural reaction to it. Afterwards, we then questioned them on what they might do differently next time.
Audio Jungle.